So here we go. Kupo is now playing here against Suspension. This is New Jersey's leader. Kupo going d4. And d5. We got a London from Kupo. Kupo, one of the fan favorites from Temple. Kupo in their semifinals match lost a game against an 800 rated player, and they could have had to go to overtime because of it. I believe they might have even been able to have lost. Who knows? But nonetheless, Kupo finds himself here in the finals, trying to take down New Jersey's board 2. So trading knights here. The knight is hit. Knight comes back, attacking the pawn. F5 is played, solidifying this pawn structure, potentially weakening this point. Perhaps the bishop could come out. Perhaps the knight could come out, putting pressure on the bishop. Instead, playing F3, just trying to strike down at this. And here we have bishop takes with check now. So now we have an open H file pointing at the black king. So Kupo looking pretty good here out of this London. Black takes. So now do you take with the pawn, queen, or the knight, or neither? Or none of the above? Probably you would take with the pawn to undouble. You don't want to have double isolated pawns. So take back towards the center with the pawn. And now e4 at some point seems positionally sound. Also, I'm just guessing all you guys can like hear and see everything, all right? Because this isn't my usual setup. I'm assuming someone would have said something. I don't know why when I'm like refreshing the page, it's like just not bringing up the stream, but I do have the chat. So, all right, thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. All right, so black to move. Suspension here. We're in suspension. Joel's move. What does Joel want to do here? So Kupo only having spent 32 seconds. Suspension having used over a minute and a half. Deep in thought here. This is a very strong rook. Very open H file. Honestly, position's still relatively even. Black a little bit farther in development. They've already castled. Bishop here seems positionally sound. And then followed by the queen here, threatening to take the pawn with check, but knight here could be annoying. So queen comes out, looking to take the pawn with check. This pawn as well. So there's no move that I see that saves both besides king f2, which may or may not be something that you want to do. But Joel spends some time here, makes a good move, forcing white into something awkward. Either you move the king and you can't castle, or you lose a pawn. So king f2 is found. Kupo makes the move. White will go uncastled. Joel thinking again here. Joel's now used half his time, under 2.5 minutes now. Um, it says I can't follow Big Mac 24, so I'm not sure where they are, but just a heads up. Steven beat Kareem. Okay, I missed that one too. Oh, Panda Swag. Yeah, Panda Swag beat Turkish Mamba 69. Nice. All right, so Panda Swag top board from Temple B gets a win. So Temple off to a good start. Actually, let me look at that game real quick. This was a miniature here. So we got a French defense. Yeah, this is a hanging piece here. So after this, something needs to be resolved. Knight here fails to do the job. So knight takes. Yeah. Oh, and there's another piece. All right, so Turkish Mamba, fourth board from New Jersey. Not their best start. Okay, so king comes to f2, and now bishop to d3 opposite the queen. So f4 was played, hitting the queen. Queen steps back. And at some point, maybe this is going to be played. Trying to open up this diagonal. Converging here. So let's see. Also, the knight would be pretty well placed. Going this side, king side. Knight here as well. Queen here is a strong move. Yeah, knight here to here. It's going to be pretty annoying. I mean, this pawn does have a lot of defenders, but there's also going to be a lot of attackers. Both these players, 1400. So pretty evenly matched. Kupo still doing really well on the clock. Ooh, okay, so rook to the open e file. And white follows suit, but again, knight f3, and what I'm noticing is that these last two moves weaken this pawn. In fact, now at this point, white could actually capitalize on this and take here and even here as well. So bishop here seems to be like a strong move. It takes away knight f3. It also attacks the rook here, but it's a little slow and a little too weakening. So here takes with check, and probably you want to take with the queen now. So that was a bit of a mistake. If rook takes, then white would have been fine. So, okay, queen here is looking kind of deadly. Along with the bishop. In fact, you'd have to force yourself here. And then rook check is just really bad. So, very active square. Ooh, and now queen h2. Kupo did the wrong move order. He traded rooks and then he took on f5. He needed to take on f5 first, and now Kupo should lose this game. If you go down, GG. If you go up, I mean, that's pretty much as close as it gets. I don't know. Not over yet. And black could always mess up, but yeah, after this check, you're winning that, and it's not looking too good. There is perhaps this. Okay, so black did not give the check, so that would have been a really strong check to give, because if you block here, you know, takes, you're gonna lose this. But okay, the bishop's hit, but bishop here now, because after takes, you can take with the queen. So if rook here, actually you can't even take because you're pinned. So I'm not sure. Black is still better here for sure. This is kind of like an only move. Rook here is very annoying, definitely, but the rook is at least here. So probably king here. And yeah, black slightly better. Up a pawn. Oh, uh-oh. So the bishop's no longer pinned, so that's a free piece, and that is also a free piece. So Kwopo with a big comeback. Joel failed to see the checks that he needed to see, and Kwopo capitalizes, getting 2 free pieces, both with check. So now rook check, king over to the side. Both players under a minute now. And good news, the fourth board from Temple's B team has arrived and has started their game. So we'll stick with this one for a little bit longer. Both players very low on the clock. Kwopo should be able to convert this one, but again, they're both in mutual time pressure. So Kwopo trying to trade queens. Ooh, knight fork though wins the queen back. But it's a queen versus a rook and 2 minor pieces. So technically, white is better, but these pawns are passed and fast. So yeah, this is such a back and forth, crazy, wild game. Really anything can happen. So yeah, probably bring the king back. Ooh, check king here. Queen to f2, attacking the knight. So pawn here, threatening this. So rook over, queen f1, bishop takes. Oh, but queen here? Oh, this and that is mate. Oh, man. Is black fine? I mean, black has missed check before. Ah, they find it. So suspension initially with the lead, blunders 2 big pieces with check, and then gets the queen fork with the knight and comes back to win it. So Temple B with the first point, New Jersey answering back. Here we've got Lucky Scala maybe. Who's this? This is Lucas. Lucas versus Andrew. Andrew's got a huge time advantage, 2 minutes to under 45 seconds for Lucas. And yeah, look at this is such a weird position. White should definitely be winning. You got a block here, yep. And oh, trading I'm not a big fan of. Okay, this is a big threat. You should go here. Yep, so now here. And white should be able to win this. Yep, just push the pawn through. And yeah, you can't really stop this with the king. Okay, bishop here. Threatening to win this, but then you lose that. But then you lose that. So yeah, rook here takes. Oh, very interesting. Rook takes, king here. Rook here. Get this guy going. I mean, Andrew's holding on here. He's trying to not give up. And Lucas is in some time pressure, so you never know. Yeah, H pawn's gonna roll now. Rook back. Another check, perp, maybe. Ooh, walking the king up now. King's just going to attack the rook again. Going for the rook trade. Yeah, you never know. I mean, there could be some sort of timeout or something. Ooh, looks like Jeffrey Luke here won. Top board from New Jersey. Taking down the 4th board from Temple B. This game ended pretty quickly, actually. So after this move, the rook was left hanging. So Jeffrey just won that piece. Bishop here, and the back rank. I mean, good try going for mate, even though it's defended even. But yeah, Jeffrey getting their first points. Now New Jersey taking the first lead of the match. And looks like Lucas should win this one. So New Jersey might take a 3-1 lead here. Okay, we got a game from round 2 underway. We got Jeffrey versus Kwopo. So Lucas won this one. New Jersey 3-1 lead. Let's check out Kwopo's game. So Kwopo up against New Jersey's best player, Jeffrey. Opposite side castles, so White's trying to attack. Kwopo puts the halt to that. Jeffrey just adding more pressure along this diagonal, trying to bring this guy involved into the game, perhaps. Kwopo playing in the center, attacking the bishop back. And Jeffrey trying to trade off dark square bishops. Taking the rook over, takes, king takes, queen here maybe. Would have, no, not threatened that, but. Alright, pawn here, looking to play here, for sure. Queen up. Trying to unpin the knight. And we see g4. So you don't want to take, and he doesn't. He brings the knight out, looking to get the bishop involved. Perhaps at this point, even considering trying to win a pawn, but I don't think you want to allow h5 from White. Both these players playing very quickly, both having used less than 30 seconds, and we're already on move 14. So White takes, trying to open up the g-file, and we take back with the knight, keeping the g-file at least semi-closed. Now the knight's coming in, perhaps eyeing up this g5 square, also keeping this knight out of f4. Bishop takes right away, doesn't want to deal with that knight. So now rook takes. Now the knight comes in, hitting the bishop and the rook. Don't think you want to take this. Not really. It's kind of a weak piece here. So just kicking the rook back. And now bring the rook in, attacking the queen. I love this knight here. It's a very strong knight. So Kwopo's playing very well against someone about 400 rating points higher than his rating. Let's look at Panda Swag's game. So Panda Swag won their first game. Panda Swag top board for Temple B. And they're underrated here against Lucas, who is their board 3 from New Jersey. So yeah, New Jersey has definitely a rating advantage here. But one thing to keep in mind is that this is New Jersey's best team, whereas this is Temple's B team. So it makes sense that some of the players are a little bit underrated for Temple's B team because their best players are on their A team, who I believe are playing tomorrow. for Division 3 finals. So, yeah, Temple and Berkeley, there are two teams that have a rare opportunity to have both their A and B teams win in the finals. So, all starts here for Temple. Berkeley got their B team win. Queen here, very sneaky threat. Bishop back, hits the queen, saves the devastating loss of f2. It wasn't checkmate, but it would have been very annoying to deal with. So very strong move here, bishop e3, and probably going to trade off after this. So queen probably wants to go here or here. Maybe you'll see this. Maybe you move like this, because like if you could take and the queen can't take back and the pawn has to take back, triple isolated pawns are so bad. So Paniswag's actually up a pawn. Can definitely give up a pawn. But you don't want to hang this. Oh, but the knight here, yeah. Wow. But then there's check. I don't know. It's weird. So a3 played. a3 played. Queen takes b2 is best. Because if you go here, you're just going to get forked. Although, yeah, the queen's defending the rook, so this pawn is not pinned after this. So yeah, the queen's very, very low on squares. I think you have to take, and then the knight's going to be hanging, so then you play here. And there's actually no check with the queen, because both these squares are now covered. So probably queen up, and then knight takes, pawn takes. That or, ooh, this is just that. Now you just go b4. So yeah, I think the queen needed to take on b2 for any fighting chances. So Panda playing this really well. Winning a piece here. So queen takes. Now the knight is hit and pinned. So probably you want to go here. Or here. Wow, okay, never mind. You could also take here. That is something that I missed. And give this up and then do something like that and then get out of here. You could also just get out of there immediately. So bishop to d2. This lines up certain discovery attacks with the knight. It also maintains this pressure. So yeah, black in quite the predicament. Let's check out Joel versus Big Mac. So Big Mac's winning. Wow. I think you have to go here now. Or here. Gotta guard this. So what happened? Queen here, and that just drops the knight. So suspension, dropping 2 pieces in the game prior, has now dropped another piece in his very next game against Big Mac. But you can't count him out. He had a big comeback. Was still able to win. Oh, Jeffrey just beat Kupo. Whoops. So, Kupo. What'd you do, Kupo? So he washed up until this point. Takes here. And yeah, white gets this h5 move in. Queen here. King here. Pawn here. Taking here. Queen check again. Rook check and mate. So probably you wanted to go here, but then you'd still lose this. So that's really unfortunate. And so yeah, Jeffrey just opened up that H file and went to town. So adding on to New Jersey's lead there, we still have Paniswag's game. So looks like the queen left, the bishop tucked back. Paniswag's still up a piece here, looking pretty good. Let's check out this game. Let's see if Big Mac can close out the finish against Joel. So Joel is up a piece. Ooh. Bishop takes. Yeah, maybe even rook takes was better. Leaving the bishop, like that would have been such an annoying piece. But yeah, now you just simply got to take back. You do. And now there's queen check. King h8, nothing else. And now maybe rook takes. But yeah, imagine if rook takes first and then bishop takes. Like, that would be crushing. That would be devastating. So, how do you play from here? Okay, hitting the queen. You want to go here, definitely. 100%. This is at least the trickiest move. You want to be opposite the king. Also very strong diagonal. Black's going to have to be very accurate there. Something like this. You just want to block the queen out. Maybe try to go for a queen trade or something. So instead of going queen here, pressure here. Probably, yeah, now develop the bishop. Again, this is a really good move. So Joel now under 2 minutes. Okay. Joel just launching the h-pawn. Not sure how helpful that's going to be. Now the queen's hit. And queen here is not going to be as strong now. So the knight's kind of blocking that diagonal. We haven't looked at Andrew's game yet. Andrew and the Turkish Mamba. This is Kareem. So offering rook trade, it seems. Trying to double up these rooks. Also attacking this point a lot. So let's see. There's knight, queen, and rook. We got knight and queen. And bishop through out of the rook. So what's stopping black from taking here? It's because rook takes opens this up. Removing the defender and adding a defender. So yeah, white looks to be doing pretty good here. Yeah, black took here, so that was a mistake. Rook takes c4. And now, yeah, rook takes, but now bishop takes is more than enough support. So knight takes first is also good. And this knight is not a happy piece down here. Not sure what he's doing. This is where he wants to be. And even that, white has under control. Let's look at Lucas's game. He's only got less than 10 seconds now. So Lucas having some trouble against Temple B's top board. Ooh, yeah, white should be definitely winning this. You take here either which way. Yeah, take with pawn. Trying to open up some trades here. Yep, takes, queen here probably. Queen here as well. And there's also the spare rook around to use. Bishop here, very aggressive. Probably should try to save the pawn, but oh, queen takes. Just trying to, yeah, rook here, GG. Bishop here, only move. Rook here. Pawn here, very annoying. Rook here. Yep, finds it. So now the bishop's got to go here. Nope, just takes. And yeah, that's mate next. Lucas flags, goes down to Panda Swag, 2-0. Oh, so keeping it somewhat close. We got 2 games left. Here we got Big Mac adding on to their lead. But it's never over. It's never over. This is defended by the queen, so you don't have to worry about that. You could also take here maybe if you wanted to. Yep. Just trading this down. King here next. Perhaps. Okay, bring the rook in now. Just don't take here. Low time for Joel. Less than 15 seconds. Really tough position. Down a piece and 2 pawns. 7 seconds. 6, 5, 7 seconds. So this is a big threat, but it also trades queens. You just got to trade there. Yep. Queen's off, and now going to be very difficult for white to come back, especially with the time pressure. Andrew beat Turkish Mamba. So Andrew beat Kareem. So Andrew getting their first point of the day, bringing the match back within 1. And it looks like Big Mac here can get a big upset and force it back to even after being down 3-1. So let's see. Kings are joining in the middle. This is kind of annoying. The rook's babysitting the pawn, but after rook check, no rook returns here. Pawn pushing on through. This king, not a lot of forward squares, if any. Not even here. So rook's going for activity. Hitting the bishop. Bishop comes all the way back. Rook to the 7th. I would just take this. Rook here defends this, but rook here might have been a little bit more active. And you're also giving up this pawn now, so yeah, suspension down to his last second. Still fighting on here. Rook here. Oh, bishop takes, rook takes would have been better because you win this pawn. That's hitting the bishop. Bishop comes back. Rook hitting these pawns. Rook here, but you drop this pawn. Yeah, I mean, this could end up being a draw, actually. Suspicions play this next to flawlessly. Rook here. Lock the pawn in on a light square. King's there in time now. Probably, ooh, takes, rook takes. Was that a, I think that was a win for black. Now it might be a draw. King here would have been much better. Offer draw, decline draw. Yeah, I think black had a win in there. Rook check would have been good. Yeah, the problem is this king is just really well placed. So Big Mac couldn't convert the win, but a draw is still good for him. And Joel gets away with a draw out of that position. He fought really well with very big time pressure to get something out of that. So that maintained New Jersey's lead going into the halftime, 3.5 to 4.5. So New Jersey has a 1-point lead. It's going to be a close match. And here we go. First game in round 3. We got Jeffrey versus Andrew. So 1800 versus 1500. Jeffrey undefeated so far, 2-0. Andrew, the board 2 for Temple's B team. Looking to get some points out of Jeffrey. Can he put the stop to Jeffrey's streak? We shall see. So I look at this position and I just wish I had a bishop on c7. It would be such a good piece. The knight comes backwards unprovoked. Very interesting move. Very interesting move from Jeffrey. Perhaps trying to come here. I couldn't see why. So, knight d2. Maybe you go here. It's a lot of knight moves. It's a good square though, for sure. It's an outpost. Dead in the center. Let's see. So this kind of weakens d3 a little bit. So Andrew just continuing with their development. And yeah, the knight's going to come here. So this is a long-term plan for the knight. Knight really liked d4. And white's going to try to say, hey, this d5 pawn's very backwards, and I'm going to target it somehow. But maybe not. Maybe it's just beautiful outpost square for the knight. So we will see if that pays off. We got Kupo playing against Turkish Mamba, their 4th board from New Jersey. Here, rook to the open c file, hitting the queen. Queen's going to have to find a move. Here. Yep. Queen d6. Probably this would be my guess. Yep, castles. It's pretty solid. Castles for black. So relatively even position. White's got a bishop. Probably a little bit more space as well. Knight here. Hits the pawn, which hits the queen. Probably this, though. And then maybe you come here, this way. Maybe not. Alright, develops the queen. Connects the rooks. Says if you take me, I'll take back. Let's look at top board from Temple. Panda Swag versus Suspension. So rating difference about 44. Panda Swag up a pawn. Both sides, light square bishop. Better pawn structure for Panda Swag. Joel's got isolated double pawns here on the c file. And it's already under attack. Pinned to the queen, in fact. And yeah, this also opens up the way for the rook to come in. This would be pretty good. Excuse me. All right, so that drops this and defends that. So this comes with a threat. You could also go here as well. Black just takes the queen, or takes the pawn with the queen. So wins a pawn. And there's really no move that white has that can kick the queen off the defense of the rook. But that is something that you should keep in mind, is that the rook is actually pinned to the bishop. So the rook moves, the bishop falls. If the queen moves, depending on where they move, the rook falls. So not so easy, but yeah, this is a weakening move. This can force the queens off if you want. Rook here, though, definitely the best choice in my mind. Doubling on the e file, very powerful. Pawn here, just move the bishop. Could even win a pawn. Yep. So now, if rook tries to pin, well, okay, the bishop's also hanging. So bishop takes, queen takes, and yeah, something like rook here would be crushing. Both sides with over 3 minutes left. So this game's getting close to an end game, and it's... Man, I just got really tired all of a sudden. Okay, this looks like a dangerous move. But yeah, I would just play here, I think. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, yep, doubling on the second, so... Well, honestly, the queen's guarding this, so it's not like you would give up the rook for the queen. Let's move around again. So, yeah, queen back. This covers all the bases. And now the pawn's coming up. So, yep, Panaswag's got one goal in mind. Just run the pawn for a touchdown. Here, you could just trade if you want. You can take the rook and then go here again. Also, this is a fantastic move, just pushing the pawn. So, yeah, suspension's probably going to lose this game, but suspension's also come back and won from down 2 whole pieces. They also drew their last match despite being down a whole piece. So you can never really count out Joel. Joel's a fighter. He's going to keep going. Here, let's look at Andrew's game versus Jeffrey. So he's only got 30 seconds to a minute 50. And he's down an exchange. So tough road ahead for Andrew in this game. Rook here is annoying. Limiting the queen here. Okay, just trying to trade off rooks, which makes sense. Rook here. Black still needs to clear their back rank. Yeah, white's just playing this textbook, trying to trade off everything. So, not even trying to win extra material at this point. Ooh, Panda Swag beat he beat Suspension, so Suspension gets his first loss of the day. Let's check out this nice tactic. Queen check, forking king and rook. Rook takes, and there goes that game. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Rook takes check, forces the queen to block or the king to get skewered. And after this, king takes pawn push, and you can't stop the pawn. So, yeah, good game from Panda Swag, improving to 3-0. Let's go look at Kupo's game for a second. So now it's tied 4.5 apiece. We got 3 games left in this third round. So really interesting position here, actually. Connected pass pawn for black on c4. And now the knight's hitting the rook that's holding it back. So probably you want to snip this off, but you could also simply move the rook and wait for them to push, because then you save your queen, you take their knight, and then you try to go after this overextended c-pawn. Let's look at Andrew again. He's got less than 10 seconds. So let's see what's going on here. So now Jeffrey's not up a pawn anymore. What is the it's a pawn versus a pawn, a knight versus a rook. I feel like I would take this. Oh, but you don't lose this. So rook check, push through. Okay, king here attacking the pawn. Or hold up, the pawn's moving downwards. Never mind. Okay, you could take that. Knight here, blocking the king's view. The rook's protection of the pawn. So now this, I have no idea if this is a draw or not. But I do know Andrew's got very little time. Yeah, bring the king in closer, for sure. Okay, just don't hit a fork. Actually, you couldn't hit that fork if you wanted to, because it's white's turn. So there's a check, king up, 2 squares diagonal to the knight, safest spot for the king. Oh, Andrew's the one with the black pieces, so they cannot win this game. It's impossible. Ooh, rook check wins the knight. Yeah, Andrew's going to go down to Jeffrey. All right, so Andrew played on. Pretty valiant effort, but please tell me Jeffrey knows the technique. You got to burn a move with the rook. but not protecting with the king. Yeah, there it is. Yep. All right. Well done to Jeffrey, taking the lead back for New Jersey. 5.5 to 4.5. It's a very close match. All right, let's see what Kupo's doing. Kupo's got 40 seconds on the clock. Turkish Mamba only less than 20. This is Kareem. Let's see. This looks like a solid move. Okay, king comes up. Pawns are launched. Pawn is hit by the rooks. This pawn is hit as well. Now black takes back with the pawn. And now the knight's going to get kicked. The knight's one of the defenders of the pawn. So let's see what's going on here. 19 seconds. Bishop takes, pawn takes, rook with check, rook takes, rook back. And then rook takes pawn. And then, yeah, rook here is a very strong move. Forking both pawns. So, rook check, king up. No more rook checks. Save the pawn. And, yeah, if you could get your king right here, this would be pretty annoying to deal with. But yeah, instead, you just gotta deal with this rook. I would take that. So 2-0. King going pawn hunting. So the rook's defending the pawn. Both sides under 30 seconds. Probably king here. Just attack the pawn. So how to move on from here? How to make progress? Looks like we got a 4th round underway between the top boards, Panda and Luke. So, or Jeffrey Luke. And they were both 3 out of 3. So that should be a good game to watch. But we still want to stick with these games. Ooh, black's going to win this one. So Kupo making a mistake at the very end here. He trades off rooks, which he should not have done. And he loses everything. So now he's just hoping. Oh, black messed up. That's a stalemate. Oh, buddy. Don't go here, my friend. Go here. Go here and guide that pawn to victory. Even here would win. So Kupo not giving up gets the stalemate on the board. All right. So, wow. So we're still. Oh, hold on. Kupo, those were his first points? Kupo. Did I forget to give Kupo some points? Hold on, let me see. Who was it? Turkish Mamba? 5 to 6. So there's. Yeah, I think I forgot to give some points. No, I did not. This is Lucas versus Big Mac Jared. So there's one game left in the 3rd round, and then we got there's one game in the 4th round that has just started. So after this game's result, there will be 12 total points, only 4 games left for a total of 16. We got only 2 seconds from Lucas, but Lucas is up a whole rook, well, for 2 pawns. And yeah, that's actually not looking good. What just happened? Did you give up a knight? That was not a good knight check. Queen check here would have been it, man. Oh no. Oh no. Big Mac with a lot of time on the clock threw away the knight and might throw away this game. And that's what Temple needed to tie the match at 6 points apiece. It looks like they're gonna lose this game. And yeah. They're going to be down 2 points going into the 4th round, which is not good. They're going to need a win by a score of 3-1. So yeah. Man, that's a tough one for Big Mac. And he gives up his queen here. It was pretty bad either way. He's going to hope for a stalemate to keep it close within 1 point. So if he gets a stalemate here, Temple's gonna need 2.5 to 1.5 in the fourth round for a tie. Yeah, the king's coming in now. King box that king out. Yep. King here. King here. You want to try to get rid of this pawn somehow. Because, yeah, push the pawn, dude. Push the pawn. Queen takes now. King here. Okay, here. Here. The problem is you got a pawn push, you see? Yeah, and that's mate next. Yeah, so any players listening, 2 tips from this game. If you got your opponent down to 3 seconds and you've got over a minute and a half, take your time. There's increment. You're not going to flag him. You know, the position was pretty good. It's okay to take the time there. Second thing, if you're down to just your king, get rid of your pawn moves. Because this would be stalemate. So, yeah. Get rid of that pawn. That's your best hope. Lucas wins here, adding on to New Jersey's lead. So, score going into the fourth round, 7-5. New Jersey just needs 1.5 points to win. Temple needs to win this round 3-1 to force overtime. So if they go 3.5 or they sweep, then they win. But they're probably gonna try to go 3-1, is my guess. Maybe they'll win all 4. Maybe they'll just end it here. So let's see. How is it gonna go? So this is Panda Swag versus Jeffrey. 2 top boards, both undefeated. Panda's playing this pretty well. This knight on the rim looking pretty dim. Or some people say grim. I don't know what officially is right or if it matters, but anyways, let's see. Pawn here defends this guy. I would love to play this as white. Just cutting this knight off. Also getting a connected pass pawn. I'm playing here, trying to get that connect 4, you know? But mostly just for the connected pass D pawn, honestly. So maybe black will initiate this trade, but probably don't want to do that, would be my guess. I don't know. White could take back a lot of ways. They have good options here. And yeah, look at these knights, man. Look at black's knights. And look at these double isolated pawns in front of the king. This king's pretty exposed as well, but yeah, I'm going here. Going right here. Yeah. And then this next. Right here. So now Panda Swags got their connect 4. Look at this really sad knight. I would even consider taking here. There's also this check, which is really annoying. There's also what could have been that check, but yeah, going with the queen. So now you probably have to move the king. King h8. Luckily the knight is here to defend the rook. Don't even know if you want to take and help this knight come out of its cage. Maybe knight here or something. Okay, rook takes, knight takes, only move. Rook over, hitting the knight. Knight here maybe, but then bishop here is really crushing. So maybe you have to just go back or try to bring this knight out. Yeah, this is not looking good. Rook here now. Yeah, do it. Rook. Bring in the rook. What else is there? Yeah, I mean, Panda Swag's playing this flawlessly. He's bringing the queen in instead, saying, let's get these off the board. If the queen tries to stay on, then you got a rude awakening. Here, rook takes, king up, and that's mate. So probably best to trade or let white trade. Yes, I mean some nothing move, but What's the problem here? Queen takes probably. Follow with bishop here, maybe. There's some sort of perpetual. I don't think so. Maybe if the queen got here, but it's a little too far, I think. What else could there be? Rook here, and yeah, this should be mate. Should be mate. So we'll see if white finds it. Panda swag, just under a minute. I'm still waiting on one of the other boards to start. I think it's Big Mac's game against Kareem. Yep, so queen check, only move is to block, and the key is to take with this piece, not with this piece. So let's see, can you find it? Yeah, rook takes, king only move, and that is GG. So Panaswag going flawless. He's probably underrated. So, oh, mate there as well. Two different mates. Just needed one, and he found it. So Panaswag going flawless, 4 for 4, trying to bring Temple back within it. We got AK Scrublord 4 minutes. Joel with under 2 minutes now, and white's looking pretty good here. This king's a little exposed, and Andrew's up 2 pawns, playing pretty well here. So he's looking to win this one, close this one out. Let's see, yeah, just keep the knight out from here. And again, we might have one of the, yeah, if the knight stayed there, then d5, and here would have been somewhat annoying. So maybe knight here, bishop here, boxing the knight out. There's also just this. Take back like that. So yeah, Temple B, they're not going down without a fight here. They got their leader Panda Swag leading the way. Let's see what's going on with Kupo's game. So this board looks somewhat even. The players are literally 2 rating points apart. So this is as close as it's gonna get. Bishop takes. Probably you want to take with the rook. Maybe this pawn was hanging, actually, if you didn't take with the bishop. So maybe that would have been a little bit better for Kupo. But okay, the position's still pretty equal, pretty even. Knight in to d5, pretty good square. Right behind the pawn, so tightening this grip, this control on these dark squares. So yeah, let's stay with this game a little bit. This game looks like there's some action happening. There's something gonna happen. So black did not take the bishop. White could get connect 4, but you could also kick out the knight. I can see both being pretty tempting. Bishop here is a beautiful piece. Just a beautiful piece. Prevents the rook from coming in and trading off on the file. So now knight goes back. Probably looking at this to hit the bishop, but simply going here would be good. It does come the price of the d pawn, so you would probably play something like c4 there. But white decides to take a step backwards, brings the bishop backwards, hits the knight this way. Again, knight here seems pretty reasonable, but then bishop here is another fantastic square. It just does give up e8 though, is one thing. Yeah, I'm still not seeing Big Mac's game. So yeah, here, okay, playing c4, just getting connect 4 here with the pawns, just solidifying the chain. And yeah, again, black could take here, probably don't want to do that. Here, you could trade, you could also go bishop e6, which is pretty solid, and again, bishop e6 is a solid move. Probably knight here or something, but yeah, Andrew's going to try to tie up this match here at 7 points apiece by winning this. Just don't want to blunder the bishop. So, yep, this is actually a very passive square, though. Probably best to have gone here, someone more active. This, I mean, your influence is completely covered by the knight. So, yeah, a couple passive moves from the bishop. But now the knight leaves, the bishop can reactivate. Yep, and does so immediately, coming out this way. The knight's going to try to be annoying. So there's a check. Oh, the knight's hit. Gotta go here. You really got to go here. Yep, it's knight d3. And now the pawn's running. Pawn says, get me home. So knight's here. Now if you push, the king can come here, though, is one thing to keep in mind. So instead, what you should do is you leave this here because the pawn, the bishop, and the other pawn are boxing this king out. So the king can't actually enter unless you push. You give up control over e7. So the king might have to concede some squares. And now the knight's here. Again, you don't really want to push because the king here covers the dark square. But now, oh, resignation here. So maybe missed the king move. So Joel goes down to Andrew, and now we're all tied up at 7. So, yeah, we've got 2 games left. I don't know where Big Mac and Kareem are. Jared and Kareem have maybe dipped. If anyone could like reach out to them and be like, yo, you still have a game left. Or something. But yeah, here's Kupo. So whoever wins this game secures the draw, at least for their team. Kupo's got a time advantage over a minute plus. Very strong knight here. But position's still relatively kind of closed. So, yeah. Hard to really like try to make progress. But yeah, Kupo's definitely favored. Like this knight is just a monster. At least worth one of these rooks because this bishop would never contest it. And yeah, Lucas just takes it. So takes, and it's a pawn and knight versus rook for that trade there, that exchange. And I feel like I would play something like this. But yeah, rook here is also good in case they want to keep things closed. So now you could take like that. So now we have a rook versus a bishop and a pawn. So let's see if Kupo can convert this, especially with that time odds. So, and this bishop is just such a bad piece. The queen should move. And okay, so here, that's why the king stepped off the g file. I think you definitely take that for sure. And now, yeah, might even have to double down and give up another piece. And they do. So now after takes, that's a big threat. So down an entire rook, but I mean, there's still threats. And in fact, Kupo doesn't even want to take it back. Okay, rook takes, there's rook takes. And so white could get a pawn back. There is that line, but did not go for that. And now puts the bishop in a pen. So you take, ooh, but now this is weak. Huh. So here, maybe you go here, but then that, and then this. I mean, okay, here. It's timeout. So Kupo Kupo takes the lead. So Kupo guarantees at least a draw for Temple B, and I still don't know where the 4th game is. So where's Jared? And where's Kareem? Kareem needs to go to Jared. That's a bad joke. But holy smokes, what on earth is happening? Does anyone know? Can anyone help me? I don't know if Wikipedia is watching or not. Did they already finish their game? Did I like not follow? Did I exit out? They're playing soon. Interesting. That's really interesting. I mean, all right. Well, yeah, I mean, the crazy, crazy close match. Really down to the wire here, and Big Mac only needs a draw for a win. New Jersey needs to win to force overtime, and I think New Jersey's actually favored for the rating difference on the board fours. So Big Mac could come up with a big game here. All he needs is a draw, and he got a draw earlier against Joel. So, and yeah, for New Jersey to come this far is pretty impressive. I actually believe they were a wild card team. So, let's see, Division 5. Yeah. So Temple B actually, let's see. All right, so they're underway. So here we go. This one's for all the marbles. Temple B went 6 out of 7 in the regular season, so they've only lost one match to Rutgers A. And Rutgers A ended up losing to Queens College, who Temple then beat in the semifinals 8.5 to 7.5. So this game was aborted. All right. Maybe they'll have to go again. I don't know if there's an issue with the color or what. Also not sure why this game took so long to start. Maybe for dramatic effect. Luckily, I don't have a match after this to cover, I don't think. So after this, we have chess TV time in 3 hours. Probably going to do, I don't know, maybe some interviews or Q&A and just try to get some more people on. And at 4, we have who do we have at 4? Is it Queens College and Drexel B? Probably. All right, anyways, here we go. So we got E4, E5, C3, D6, a Philidor, and now D4. So very interesting opening. Again, Big Mac only needing a draw and New Jersey needing a win for overtime. So hopefully these players don't have anything too busy happening because overtime is a very likely chance. But yeah, both players playing pretty well here, playing pretty fast. Bishop's immediately questioned. Ooh, and takes. So not a big fan of this. You're releasing the tension. You're helping white develop, and you're getting rid of your nice bishop. So bishop here typically is the move, and this is a much more annoying piece to maintain that pin and have white need to try to work around that. And instead, you just completely open it up and help white develop. So not the end of the world, just slight misstep perhaps. And now the knight comes out. Pawn closes the center, kicks the knight away. Knight comes back to its home square. Pawn here. The good news about this for black is that these pawns are kind of all in the way of this bishop. So the bishop not too happy here for now. And the queen's also kind of in the way if the bishop wants to reroute this way. But even still, this is not a very good diagonal to be on. So this pawn's kind of in the way. Here, black trying to offer some sort of trade. White not interested, brings the knight out. And so Big Mac's closing all of this down, playing c5. This knight still needs to join the party. Probably wants to come here at some point. Okay, instead, never mind. Going here, this kind of helps clamp down on b4 expansion. And yeah, the rook may be coming to the c file. So this game's going to be a long one. This game, I suspect it's not going to last it's going to last the distance. Because it is close, so it's going to be hard for both sides to kind of open up and attack. So here the queen comes out, b6, just looking at a free pawn here. White responds, moving the rook to defend. Very, very logical. And yeah, both sides trying to counteract this b4 idea. So maybe this pawn would love to come here, maybe even here. But yeah, this is a very positional game. Kareem playing pretty well on the clock. Jared bringing the queen back, trying to make some space for the pawns perhaps, but yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this move. Yeah, the knight comes in now with tempo. Probably queen here. No, queen comes all the way back to d8. So now we have the pawn push, and that all opens up the bishop. So yeah, this knight's just kind of awkwardly placed. Probably want to go here. No, just reinforcing this. Makes sense. You could also take with the knight after this. I like that idea. A lot of pressure in the center there. So let's see. Yeah, that's exactly what Jared does. Bring the knight from a6 into c5. Definitely helps this piece out a lot. And it also frees up the a pawn to kick out this knight if need be. Not sure if you want to weaken this because the queen is the only defender here. But yeah, this is pressure here. This is pressure here. Right now, everything's defended. White's doing just fine. They got the bishop pair still, but yeah. Clocks are evening up. Both sides very similar on time. Bishop in. Knight takes. Queen takes. And now a6. Oh my goodness. Only square and the bishop's trapped. Wow. Wow. And white found it. So Big Mac up a piece for a pawn. White's got a connected pass pawn. All right. So some things are happening. Jared liking the position. Up that piece for a pawn. So white trying to centralize the rooks, trying to play for c5. It's going to be very difficult to do so. Black can just mirror the rooks as well. And this is attacking here, but pawn takes, defends here, offering a rook trade. So that was just a free pawn. Actually, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, okay. Oh, and just resigning. You got to play on, man. This was an important game. Yeah, they missed. They saw the discovery, but they missed that the queen opens up. So Jared clinching the win for Temple. Very well done. Bravo. Getting 9-7 victory. And New Jersey, again, crazy path to get here, winning the wild card to get to the finals. So congrats on second place. And Temple B, really strong run. Really tough matches. The last one, they barely won 8.5 to 7.5 against Queens College. And then just barely winning this one, coming down to the very last game, 9-7. So congrats to Temple B, winning the finals for Division 5.